Hi everyone, Cindy Squirrel here. Well, the electrician is finished and he's hooked up this solar array, and he said to do them in panels of 3. These are 330 watt panels, and I want to show you the back of them, how he did them. I know that some people have been doing them and they think because they're in unorganized townships and that they don't have to do things up to code. With electricity, it doesn't matter where you live in Ontario, it has to be up to code. So the negative here goes all the way all the way into here. Now the positive there was positive to this negative, and then this positive to this negative, which leaves you a positive on this one. So then the positive just comes into here. Okay? And if you noticed, a ground wire. All it is one piece of wire, and he's got it hooked to this panel. Just opened it up and bolted it down. And then this is the second panel. Just spliced the covering off it, exposed the wire, grounded it down. And then this is the very first panel. That's how he did that. So that's how our electrician did ours. And here we have a midnight solar, and this is just a big breaker. Okay, so the arrays go into the box, there's a breaker in there, and then it goes down, down, underground, all the way to the solar shed. Oh, I forgot to tell you that because, like I said, we're in Ontario, all these wires in the back have to be covered up. Now all Bob has to do is put on a piece of plywood on here and cover up. So even though they're all coated wires and they're in little boxes, you still have to have this covered up, which won't take too much. Like, you don't have to cover it all the way to the top because there's no wires up there. So just from about here down to the bottom, cover those up. And of course, you don't have to cover this wire up because that is a coated, it's got metal on it, it's got rubber on it. That one doesn't need to be covered up. This doesn't need to be covered up. So he can just cover that. So that's the way it is in Ontario to do it properly. So this is back of the bigger panel, which has got 3 and 3 330 watt panels, and you can see how the electrician did them here. Again, he put in a ground wire and grounded them all together, just using one wire and opening up the casing. And again, this has to be covered up with just a piece of plywood over there. You don't have to do all the way to the top, and you don't have to do all the way to the bottom. And again, we've got the midnight solar box there that it comes down into. All the wires come in through here into the box, then out of the box and down into the ground, all the way to the back of the solar shed. And we have, you can see there's 3. So 2 of them are the solar arrays, and 1 is the hydro going down through the wall and into the breaker panel for the house. Now this cable is big enough if we decide that, okay, this isn't enough solar panels to charge up our batteries. If you have enough solar panels, it should only take an hour of sunlight a day to charge up your battery bank. If we find that it's not charging it up enough, that cable is big enough that we can do another array on this side and 2 more arrays on the other side of the house. I'll just show you. You see there's 2 breakers in this one because there's 2 arrays. In the other one, there's only 1 breaker because there's 1 array. So you see here, there is room for a 3rd breaker and a 3rd array. And I forgot to show you, you probably wondered, when I showed you the back here, you can see the green ground wire. So there is a ground stake in the ground, and that ground wire starts there, goes in the building, and it is attached to the box in there so that everything is grounded.